girls.
I know.
They're gonna be able to hear you, girl.
Yeah. Can we do something?
We got some creep in the comments.
Aggressive ass Mike.
Welcome back to another episode of the Planner Suite. And today's episode is super special because normally we're talking about the brides and the planners, but today we're going to be talking about groomsmen. And today we have two of our AC groomsmen here with us, and I'm going to give them a chance to introduce themselves by telling us their name, what year they got married, and any other things that they may want to add.
Start with AJ.
How y'all doing? My name's AJ Jones. I got married August 15, 2021. And as of June 22nd, as of right now, we are expecting our first child.
Yay!
We
got an
love
AC
updates like
baby.
I am Max Unanka. Got married August 4th, 2024. I have my last child that just celebrated his first birthday that August 18th. So he's 1 year old now. And yeah, that's one of three.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for introducing ourselves. So one thing that we often hear from grooms are that they feel disconnected from the planning process. So we want to hear, was that your experience? Did you feel disconnected? How did you connect to the planning process? What things did you do to make sure that you were kind of still tapped in, even though traditionally people say it's the bride's decision?
Who wants to start?
Want to start? All right. So for me, one of the best and worst pieces of advice that I got from one of my friends was to make sure I'm staying involved with the planning process. That way, you know where the money's going. You're not surprised by anything. When that final bill comes through, you're not gasping for your heart or your air or whatever, because you kind of know what's going on. And with that, you kind of have a voice as things are going on as well. Now that's the good part. Now the bad part is when you realize how much you really about to spend. Through this entire process, it was stressful. I'm not gonna lie, and I realized that there's a lot of reasons why guys don't want to be part of that, because a lot of stuff we don't even care about for real. We don't. I don't care about the flowers. I don't care about the decor. I don't care about the draperies and the what y'all call the things that they all put on the tables.
Chargers.
Didn't know what chargers were. Didn't know what the candles and the candelabras. That's what they call it. Candelabras.
Paper candles.
See what I'm saying? I didn't know none of that, and I didn't care about none of that. I'll just give me a plate that holds my good food.
He said, actually, you can give me plastic forks and spoons.
And I don't care about none of that. I'm Nigerian, so I would have ate my food with my hands and call it a day. Give me my food. Give me my food. I'll eat my food with my hands and call it a day.
So I have a question. Was it hard for you to tell your wife no when she came to you with the things that you were like, I don't need that?
Telling her no wasn't hard. Dealing with how she felt afterwards, that was the hard part.
Yeah.
Because then it comes the negotiation. Then it comes the, okay, well, what can we do instead? And when you don't even know what these flowers are called, it's hard for you to kind of say, oh, well, let's try this.
Right.
Or let's try that. But when she has a vision in her head for it, it's kind of like, all right, well, I got to give more than I take, because at the end of the day, the only thing when it comes to bargaining for me was, let's just keep some money in our pockets versus, let's do this small flower versus the big bundle and bouquet or whatever. So I think that was the hard part. But I think what made it easier as we went through the process, because, you know, as you go through this whole planning process, y'all start hating each other through this. I don't know if that's the way it was for you, but we realized we were getting annoyed with each other the entire time. But then I had to sit down and be like, yo, you know what? We're not even mad at each other, yo. We mad at her. We mad at Amy. We mad at the planners.
It was me.
Because at the end of the day, it's like every single day we meeting, trying to figure out what we're going to do, how we going to make this joint cheaper, how we going to do this, how we going to do this, how we going to do this. And we tight. We're tight. We have so much friction because all we do is take care of these kids, take care of the crib, go to work, come home, start planning,
Dish out
and then
money.
go to sleep.
Yeah.
Every day was the same thing over and over and over again. And it's like, at some point you realize like, yo, I'm not even mad at you. You're not even mad at me. It's the planning thing.
Yeah.
We don't want to have to deal with this every single day. And when you're doing that every single day, it causes friction. So I had to sit down with her and be like, yo, babe, it's not even us. Like, we taking it out on each other.
Hate me.
Let's not do that. It's just,
but I don't
it's
even think it was the planner. It was like the invoices coming in. You see that money coming in.
It was
like
invoice after invoice.
Yeah.
The cards getting swiped. The bank calling you like, yo, you don't spend money like this.
Fraud?
What's going on? So I'm sitting there like, bro, I got to answer these people all day. I got to answer the bank. I got to answer this bank. I'm doing transfers because this vendor doesn't take payment this way. This vendor doesn't take payment this way. So I got to transfer money over here. Now I've reached my transfer limit. Then I got to go back into savings. Now I'm touching this. I'm touching money that I'm not supposed to be touching for something that low key I don't care about these flowers.
Yeah,
I don't care about these flowers. But I got to pay the flower person because the flower person needs their bread by yesterday. And I'm like, okay, well, so I think the biggest part was really just, communicating with her like, yo, let's just take a breath, take a step back. You're not really mad at me. I'm not really mad at you. It's just nobody wants to be spending this kind of money that fast, especially when the wedding's not here. So
that's so real though.
So I have a question for you because the reality is these are our AC couples. So like for me moving forward, you can't be the only groom that feels this way, right? So my question for you is, what can a planner do differently to help you guys feel better in the situation? Like, do we need to have more transparency of what these weddings are costing? Like, what is it that we need to put out there for you to feel more comfortable? And that's something we're doing in the planner suite, talking about budgets more, because I think it's coming down to people really don't know what these things are costing,
right?
Too, you know what I mean? And then it's like you want to get married for the rest of your life and have this beautiful day, but the prices, and I think I said this to you guys, I don't know how to justify these prices all the time anymore.
Y'all can't. But I would say the best thing that y'all probably could have done was to be upfront. Like when somebody gives you a budget, if this budget's gonna work for the vision, cool. If that budget and the vision don't match up, hey, listen, it sounds good and all, but we working on a tight budget here. It's not gonna be all that beautiful. It's not gonna be the vision that you want. Because I think what it was like, again, I go to school cafeteria, get married, call it a day, make sure all my people is there, the music is there, the food is there. I'm cool. As long as my family's there, everybody's having a good time. I love to throw a party. That's my thing. But as far as the aesthetics and all the stuff that I didn't care about, that's the vision for where, that's why everybody say, oh, a wedding's for the woman or whatever. But for me, I think once you see like, yo, what this vision is way outside of that budget, that needs to be said up front. Because when them tallies start adding up, and you get into the day of the wedding and you realize like, yo, we $5,000 over, 10 grand over, 15 grand over, 20 grand over. At some point, somebody gonna snap.
Somebody gonna snap. Resentful.
You're gonna snap because at the end of the day, once that wedding is over, you gotta go home to all them bills. In our case, ours was on the 4th. So all them bills just came out. We just paid mortgage, just paid all the bills that we normally pay on the 1st of the month. Then the wedding is here. I'm like, yeah, good luck. My card's melted. It's not even working no more. And then I'm still getting bills. I'm like, yeah, nah. So I think that's the main thing, especially as a guy. We one of those people where tell us up front, if a car costs this much, I either got to grind to get this car or it's just not for me. If the wedding costs this much and you tell me up front, yo, this is how much this wedding's going to cost for this look, tell me that up front. So that way it's like, all right, well, we can work towards this. We can try to make a plan. But I think a lot of times we go into this like, oh yeah, no, we just want to, we can make this work. We can make this work. You start making 50 things work. At the end of it, it's not going to work. And it's just going to be you left with the bill at the end of the day. Because everybody else is going to go home. You're not going to see none of these people again. Have people flying back to wherever they flew from. I had family coming from Belgium, Nigeria, everywhere. So it's like, I had family coming from everywhere. And I didn't get to see them next day. You know what I'm saying? And at that point, it's just like, you realize, oh, I've still got to go either home or if you're honeymoon, if you're so blessed to be able to just go from there. But I had kids. I got to go home, make sure they fed. Right. And I'm looking like, dang, the party over? For real? In our case, our venue was their time limit was real short. So I'm like, dang, I'm at the crib before midnight. That's crazy. I just got married, but I'm at the crib before midnight. That's kind of that's.
They did cut y'all off. I do
they
remember
cut us
that.
Off quick.
They
cut us off quick. I was like, oh, we gotta go home now. Oh, all right.
Yeah, they didn't care about any customer experience at all.
See, that's so tough though. Like I hear it, but then it's also like you get in the meetings and the grooms don't do this as much as the brides. The brides are like, but I really want it. And it's, so then it's just like, okay, well, just what is the cost? And then I feel like that's what takes things super over budget. I think it's like finding a happy medium.
Yeah, I think at that point, that's when that budget needs to be discussed a lot more often. Because a lot of times you don't revisit the budget till we blew through it, or we're looking for more money, or trying to add more things or take certain things out. And at that point, it's kind of late. So it's like, I think the budget, it needs to be an important part, especially if a man is involved in the planning process. That budget needs to be discussed either bi-weekly or at least once a month or something, to be like, yo, hey, here's your budget. This is how close you are to it. Or here's your budget. You got more money, or what's going on? Because at the end of the day,
you got more money.
as guys, like, you know how we are. When that money start looking funny, we like, for
Fix
real,
it immediately.
Right.
And that was a big stress. That was a big stress for me. And for it to be a one day thing, like that, it gets annoying. So I think as a guy and a guy that wants to get more feedback from planners or whatever, I think that would be my main thing. It's just
That's
more
good.
input when it comes to budget.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
As far as for me, I went in wanting to help as much as possible to help alleviate some type of stress from my wife. Growing up, or even before I got married, I used to always hear women say their husband never helped with anything through the process. So my thinking process was, I never wanted my wife to have that story. So I don't know how y'all did it, but we had Amy for day of coordination. I don't know if y'all had her throughout the whole process. So for us, that made us communicate better, because we didn't have her necessarily with the budget and everything. It was, all right, we want this. This is what the price is going to be. This is how we're going to add it up. So with us, we didn't necessarily hate each other in the process. It helped us with our communication better for my story. But overall, it was good. I would say it was, it strengthened our marriage or relationship at the time before the marriage, because we had to go back to Amy. It was like, oh, this is what we want. This is what we need. No, we're not doing this no more. So it was like we was in control more, say, for the day of coordination versus having her do everything and come with us for the budget. And now we look aside, we was like, oh, we didn't think this was going to be like this.
Right.
So it worked out for us.
Yeah. Is there anything that you feel like, I don't know, to get guys more involved? Like, is there something that we could do to get you all more involved? And I guess you had a different experience because you did day of instead of like ongoing.
I would guess in those meetings, if y'all aren't doing it, ask questions like, what is your opinion on this for the guys? Like, make us talk.
Yeah.
Because if you don't make us talk, a lot of times we just gonna
sit back. Yeah.
I know my job is just swipe this card right now. So, so I guess you got to force us to ask what our opinions are and stuff like that.
I just want to bring up something. This is a little bit of a tangent, but for both of you guys, even though weddings can be very, very stressful, can we just talk about something that you did enjoy with your wedding, even though that the budgets were very over the top? So I know both of you guys had different size weddings, right? But Max, can you share with something that you actually really did enjoy from your wedding?
The food. The food. So I'm first generation born here. My parents are Nigerian, both of my parents, my grandparents, everybody. So it was very important to me because culture is a big part of me. And being Nigerian, I wanted to celebrate the Nigerian aspect of who I am, because, going to Virginia State is like, you meet everybody as Black people, and you get that kind of culture where we get to grow up into adulthood in this kind of culture, but then there's a deeper side of me that not everybody gets to see. So my cousins were out there, everything like that. And for me, it was one of those big things where it's like, yo, food from my culture is amazing. From Nigerian jollof to stew.
No, I have to stop you.
Nigerian jollof.
Okay, I'm gonna let you talk because this is your moment, but we can talk
I know
about
they
it
carry
later.
laughs. You understand? So, so we had everything. So, and then even with that, we had Caribbean food there. Then we had, just regular American food. And I think that was a big piece, even though a lot of my aunts tried to hijack the serving part of it. And that was a whole nother thing. But yeah, so I think the food really brought a lot of people together in ways that they didn't realize it, because they were trying things that they never would have even seen had they not attended our wedding.
Absolutely.
Even to this day, they're like, yo, the to-go place, I don't know whose idea that was. I, to this day, don't know whose idea that was.
Honestly,
I don't know if it was my auntie
I don't know
or my
either.
mom's. I don't know who bought the plates. I don't know where they came from. I just see people walking around with to-go plates, and I'm like, I'm not mad at it. You know what I'm saying? But I think that was the biggest thing for me, because being able to bring the Nigerian culture to my family and friends, and then being able to mix my American culture with my family, I think that was huge. That meshed so well. And then seeing everybody just kind of like dancing and taking in the traditional aspects of, money spraying and the prayers and the kola nut and everything like that. Even though everything was condensed, we didn't have that much time, but it was a beautiful thing to see and experience, even as a groom. You know what I'm saying? My wife enjoyed every last bit of it. My mother was ecstatic. My father was proud. My uncles were proud. My uncles I haven't seen in years. You know what I'm saying? My godparents couldn't make it. God rest my godmom. But it was a beautiful thing. I think that was my favorite part of the wedding, just being able to bring cultures together. So
yeah, absolutely.
Honestly, the same thing. Definitely for the food. Like that was one of my, when we talking about the planning, the food had to be on point. Like
absolutely.
No, I don't like this restaurant. I mean, I don't like this caterer. The food ain't all that. Just so that, because I've been to a lot of weddings and the food was, you waiting all day to eat, and then
dog. I think that was my biggest thing too.
Like you just think like, yo, this.
We've been hungry. We've been outside. Depending on where you at, it was raining, and then you come inside, you eating this dry piece of chicken.
Bruh.
Talking about some chicken breast and
This
steak.
roast beef dry, gravy nasty,
gravy cold. So it's like,
so that was a thing. And then for me, I'm country. I'm from the country, like.
Okay.
And my wife is from Brooklyn, New York. So being able to see both of our families come together and really, outside of the immediate families, meet and have a ball was huge. And then for our wedding, it was like a mini Virginia State University homecoming. So, so being able to have all three of that into one day, even though the joint flew by, like by the time you sit down, you're like, dang this. But be able to see, for families, I'm big on family. So to see both sides of our families come together and be like, yo, we in this for a lifetime. Let me get your number. Knowing that my aunt and her aunt live in the same city, never knew that, Silver Springs, Maryland.
That's crazy.
And they are 5 minutes up the street from each other. My aunt has to pass her house to get to her church.
That's
Love
crazy.
that.
Like small stuff like that, where it was like they are making connections. Like, so that was huge for me to see, in our culture. We normally don't get together outside of funerals or sad things. So, and a lot of times, a lot of us are the first generation to get married in our family. So to just to have that and have a day of fun, no hostility, nothing like that, that was beautiful for me.
Right.
So I know you both had very different experiences, and I want to give you all chances to talk about that. So we're gonna jump over to AJ first. So first of all, I wanna highlight that we have a celebrity in the space. When people talk about viral weddings, you need to take a minute. You need to take a note, right? Because you went viral twice. You went viral twice. So the first time you went viral is that you presented your fiancé with 2 different rings. So talk to us about like what was your mindset behind that? Why did you opt to do that?
So my mindset behind that was, so the rings I knew she was going to choose, I already had it for a year. I knew she was going to do it, but I was like, what can you do to just make this not a regular proposal? So I went and bought another ring, and then I returned it after, because I was still.
I was about to say, was there a receipt? Was there a return policy?
Okay. I had my 30 days. I bought it literally like 3 weeks before the proposal. Okay. So
was it because she like said she saw something else she liked, or just?
So originally going in, that's one thing I also made sure I wanted to do. I wanted to learn about ring cuts and all that. So we both like princess cuts. And then we started learning that a lot of times that snags your hair and your dresses and stuff like that. So I knew she wanted a princess cut. I'm like, how can I change her mind? So I went into the store, had her put on the ring that I knew she wanted, or she would change her mind for, and she liked it. She's like, oh yeah, I can see myself with this one. And I actually bought it that day. She don't know though. I just kept it there and then came back and got it. And then as far as the 2 rings, I was like, how can I make her feel special than what she already is? And I just went and bought another ring.
I love that. I love that.
Guys, take notes for engagements. Just for engagements,
yeah.
Like, and not the part about the 2 rings, right? Because a lot of now, when you did that, I think only a couple other people done it before, but a lot of people do that now. But find a way to make her feel special, make her
Paying
feel
attention.
different from somebody else.
And my intention was never to go viral with it. It was just to have an
It
intimate
never
moment.
is.
Yeah.
So if you are a gentleman that is going to be proposing soon and you are trying to figure out what to do, would you consider doing 2 different rings to make sure that you get it right? Comment below.
Make sure it's in that grace period, because if you outside that grace period, you got your lady 2 rings. I'm just letting you know that now.
Save the receipt.
So make sure she got one for the weekend,
she gonna
one
hit
for the
you with
weekday, one for the
This
gym.
was you did. I ain't asked for this.
Exactly.
Exactly.
If you got it like that, you got it like that, partner.
Right.
I ain't be mad at you.
Yeah.
So we know, AJ, you went viral for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the wedding happened where you had vows, but then you chose to speak from your heart.
I didn't have vows.
Oh,
He
you
just
didn't
spoke
have
from his
vows.
heart.
You
I just
literally
spoke-
just spoke from
yeah.
your heart.
Because
Okay.
my proposal was from the heart too. So
Okay.
I wanted to try to challenge myself to see.
Okay.
And the reason why my vows got so long, I lost train of thought. Like I went in, like I hit it, boom, and then when they started clapping, I zoned back out. Like I was in a zone, and then everybody started clapping. I'm like, why y'all clapping? Like, oh, because in my mind it was just me and her up there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then I just started. When I look back, I'm like, you just started rambling. Like, you was talking, but you was like, you could have been cut that short. So none of that was my intent. It was just really for. I'm just looking at her in every aspect of it. Like me and you, like we got all these people here, but it's just you and I up here in my mind.
Right.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel
that.
that.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy because that's why I didn't put my vows up there. I had vows written somewhere.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to do it at that moment because I knew I was going to go off script. And once I go off script, I start rambling. I started doing all that. And our wedding was way too hot to be doing all that. And I knew it. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stay here, stay in this moment. Because when I tell you she was looking, bro, baby, listen, when I tell you, my wife was fire up there, dog.
And see, my wife had she had her things out. So I mean,
Yeah.
like, bro, like.
So you was all in it. Yeah, I feel you, man. But yeah, man, I wanted to say my vows from the heart, but I was like, I just didn't want to take too much time just up there. So I was just like, yo, let the pastor say what he got to say. I'll repeat whatever, but I just wanted to be in that moment. Like that moment is etched and burned in my head.
Me too.
I know exactly where her hair was sitting. She got short hair like me, so she got waves. I know exactly what her waves was looking like.
Yeah.
Like everything was on point, even to the point where I could see the little freckle that she was growing and all. I was like, all that was fire. So I was like, that's why I didn't do my vows. I was like, I want to sit in this moment for because I'm only gonna get one.
Yeah, I thought y'all was gonna cry, huh?
Nah, I don't want to cry.
Did you cry?
I cried.
I ain't cry.
I'm
I
not.
cried.
I'm goofy. I laughed.
I'm goofy. I cried.
But the reason why, because me and her was going back. She didn't tell me what song she was gonna walk down the aisle to.
Oh.
She's like, I wanted it to be a secret. And every song I thought she was going, she didn't come down with. I was wrong in every aspect. So I'm like,
So more so a little shock.
I
Little
love
shot.
that when they
Yeah.
do the surprise song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know what
Yeah.
the song was either. And I think I forgot what part of the song it was, but I was just like, dang, yo, this is really happening. And I was just, and then she just came down, like I said.
Actually, it's "I Do" by Rotimi.
That's what it
Yeah.
was.
I
And
don't
then
know.
She came on that little grass step, and that's when I was like, I can't hold this no more.
but respect.
I was like, dang.
Yeah.
I was gangster though. I was gangster for as long as I could be, but then that joint just started rolling. I was like, man, I tried to mix it in with the sweat, try to act like, you know what I'm saying? I was patting the sweat down, but yeah.
I mean, both weddings absolutely stunning.
Yeah,
Both of you
we gotta
guys
put some
picked,
pictures in
yeah,
there.
both of you guys picked stunning locations.
Yeah.
Like theirs was right on the water with the glass, but Max and Sherelle, they had a choir singing. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Tough.
it was breathtaking. Like, it was literally breathtaking. It was very, very warm, but when Sherelle got to the top of the steps and Nikki fluffed her dress, it was
Beautiful.
honestly, as a planner, chef's kiss. It was
That's dope.
good. It was
Oh,
good.
That's
that
dope.
vision was.
Yeah.
It was good.
So we talked about AJ being viral. And now we're going to jump into Max because you had a unique wedding because you had that traditional aspect, which you already tapped into. So talk to us a little bit about that.
So again, first generation Nigerian born. I'm the first born out of my brothers. I have 2 younger brothers. So I wanted to kind of just do it right, if that makes sense. You know, in our culture, everything's real strict and by the book. But I was always I was a knucklehead. I was the one that always wanted to break rules and do this and third. So as a lot of people know, Nigerian weddings, Ghanaian weddings, there's only 2 days. And we understand why. Because there's not enough time to put all the traditional pieces into a wedding. But I wanted to capture the American aspect because, you know, my wife, her people's from DC. She was raised in Maryland, so.
And they had a go-go aspect.
And they had a go-go aspect. I'm from Jersey. I wanted to incorporate that as well. I had my Jersey people there. I had my little Jersey dances, you know, how we get down.
Oh, yes, I forgot. You and your daughter did a Jersey dance.
They did the cutest father-daughter dance.
I forgot about that.
Jersey music, and she was all in it. So it was like certain things that I wanted. Again, when it came to the wedding planning part, it was just like there were certain things I wanted that didn't really cost much, but I wanted it to be recognized, like my culture, where I was from, where she was from. She did it without even me knowing. I didn't know the DC part was gonna be in there. That joint was fire. Shout out to Ma Dukes because she killed that.
Yes.
And I think for me it was like, all right, we wanted to have a American wedding and then a traditional reception. So it was like that way we came down. I came down in a tux. We had a wardrobe change for the reception. I was in full traditional garb, like full jewelry that came straight from Nigeria. The corals straight from Nigeria. My aunts went to work. Shout out to them. Gold pieces and everything. We had the gold fronts in our mouth. That was all like planned specifically to make sure that all of this was captured in there. Even to the traditional pieces like the breaking of the cola nut, as we had the prayer from the eldest of the family to be able to bless our union and go from there. So it was a lot of different pieces that may or may not have made sense because, you know, even the prayer was in pure Igbo. So if you don't understand it, you just kind of just sitting there. But the people who didn't understand it were still like, you know, I enjoyed this, even though I didn't know what was going on. It was just something to be a part of because
eye-opening.
It was very different. So even with the prayer, I understand Igbo. I used to speak it, but when my grandmother passed, I think it's a trauma thing. I just never spoke it again. But I understand it. So I was in the prayer, and my uncle literally prayed for everybody that was there. Safe travels, safe journeys, money, health, just making sure that everybody there is blessed. Like a real live blessing. Like a real live blessing from him, it just hits different. You know what I'm saying? When you got somebody that lived life fully to be able to pray over you and your family and your journeys and everything that you do and you touch, it just hits a little different. So that's what it was. So when I tried to explain, when people was like, yo, what was going on during this time? I explained that to them, and it was like, yo, I felt that. You felt that. It was quiet. It was a long prayer, but he was real. And they would explain like, yeah, y'all don't understand what I'm saying, but it's not for y'all to understand, but y'all are going to catch this blessing anyway, kind of thing. So that was another big part that I needed to make sure that I had in my wedding was to represent my Nigerian tradition and my Nigerian family properly. And that was it for real. So my kids, they all got pure traditional wear.
They had their outfits on.
My groomsmen, pure traditional wear, straight from Nigeria. Aunts was going to work. My seamstress came over. She was in the wedding. She was there making sure that everybody was straight. My mom's, my dad, everybody, custom pieces. Like you can't just go find this nowhere. It's not something that you're gonna find at the African store. It's not something you're gonna find at the cash and carry. None of that. Like this is a heavy pieces, man. You know what I'm saying? 3-piece junks. So it was love, man.
Yeah.
Like so that was the main reason why we had it set up like that. It was just because we didn't have time to do 2 days, nor the money. Nobody's trying to spend 2 days on a venue twice. Yeah. I wasn't doing that for sure. But that was how we did it. And we wish we would have had more time to kind of like do more dancing and stuff because unfortunately we got cut short again. So it was like we started dancing and it's like, oh yeah, hey, turn the lights off, please. It's time to go. And I'm like, all right, well, so that was it.
And I think both of y'all from being around y'all and working y'all's wedding, y'all both did a great job of like that self-care aspect of like making sure, your groom and your groomsmen had their garb, they had their haircuts, y'all looked nice. And then AJ took it a step further. You know, he made sure that his grooms and his groomsmen, you know, they got their pedicures, they got their haircuts.
Which we didn't even know about the pedicures. I walked in and I said, what the hell? I said, what in the itinerary? Like,
no, wait a minute. Set the scene. Set the scene. Because you walk in and it's a whole pedicure bowl and chair.
Actually, I wasn't there. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't there. Melissa, one of our planners, walked into the room and she was like, Amy, did you know they're getting pedicures? I was like, no. Are they going to be ready by 1 o'clock? Like, really, that's what, are they going to be ready by 1 o'clock? I think you guys did run a little bit behind.
They had a barbershop set up.
That was the women's side. We was good.
Okay. All right.
I made sure we started early. I'm big on, I hate being late for stuff. So,
okay.
But I'm big on supporting Black businesses.
Yeah.
So my barber, I'm like, yo, how much would you charge me to come cut hair day of? He was like, $25. Cool, per person. I'm like, I got that. I cover that. And then I know, right? So I'm like, yeah, this is nothing. Like,
the same thing. I'm like,
Max
well,
like, let me call him right now.
He definitely was like, yo, we gonna do 55 a head. I was like, huh?
But let's talk about the times, though. Let's talk about the different times y'all got married, because this is a factor. So you got married in what
2021,
year? And then you got married in 2024.
Yeah.
So
inflation is real.
And then I had
very real.
My DJ, his daughters, they one of them has her own salon. So I was like, how much you charge me to come do this day of? You know, he gave me the price. I was like, cool. So, and all my groomsmen are my cousins. Literally, we all grew up together. Only one wasn't my cousin. He's my sandbox. Like we just grew up together. He's one of my close friends. So, like everybody, I respect on a different level. Like I look at them a certain way. So like for me, my mindset was for y'all to accept being in my wedding. Let me give y'all something back. Like just appreciate y'all.
That's the biggest part.
Yeah, because you didn't have to like. To me, I take it as an honor to be accepting somebody's wedding.
Right.
So, hey yo, even though we cousins, even though we don't tell each other we appreciate each other enough, because it's like one of them. We cousins, bro. We know what it is. Let me show you something to just say, yo, thank you for allowing me to let you be a part of my big day.
Right. And then next time,
very nice.
Your groomsmen go to a traditional. Now they have garb to wear.
They
have something. They got a 3-piece. Like they got something that they can pull up in.
Yeah.
Guys who are watching this video, we want to ask you guys, how much does it cost for you to get your hair cut, hair, beard? I don't know. You guys get facials,
steam towel. Yeah.
How much? How much does it cost you guys to get a haircut? Because as you heard, the prices have changed, okay? So drop in the comments below how much it costs for your haircut.
Did you buy your groomsmen gifts?
Yeah.
Like thank you gifts or whatever?
Yeah, so what I did was Bevel, you know, the black owned
Oh, yeah.
hair care, skincare thing. So I got him one of those little kits. It was like it wasn't nothing too crazy, but it was just something like, yo, y'all are my boys. Like, I want y'all to look good. I want y'all to feel good. So I'm gonna buy something that's worth something. It was like I think it was like shampoo, conditioner,
it's like
face
the beard wash,
and the face conditioner, beard wash, and all that. And I was like, yeah, just have a kit. I got 6 of them for all of them. Make sure they were straight, and then I paid for their haircuts. So that morning got the haircuts. They came to the barber came to the house, got them all straight in the chair, in and out of there, and then that was that. I mean, I owed it to them. They flew me out to DR for the bachelor trip, so I was like, yo, I can't. Like, they really helped me down. I didn't drop a penny. These boys held me down. Like when life was going rough, these boys held me down. These was my mans. These is the people I chose to represent me in my wedding. Like, I owe y'all at least to make sure y'all straight, from y'all clothes to how y'all look, everything. Like, everything was paid for. The only thing that they paid for, I think, was the tux rental. And that was like, that was the cheapest part of everything. So it was just like, it is what it is. But
I love that. I love that, because we talked about this a while ago about
treating your groom.
Like who pays for makeup, who pays for hair. So let's switch it up a little bit. Who pays for haircuts for the day of the wedding? Like, should you just come pay for yourselves? Because we talked about makeup for girls. So like, who pays for it? Should it be the groom? Or should it be the groomsmen paying for it because they're in the wedding? And I love that, because we talk about how grooms don't get as much love as the bride. So you don't get the bridal shower. I mean, you do get the bachelor party and the bachelorette, but the way that you guys are saying, like, oh my God, they poured into me this whole experience. We love to hear that the grooms still get that in this whole experience of wedding planning.
My thing is, if you got it like that, do it.
Because I'll say that's an anomaly. We don't hear that. We don't hear that the grooms are going on trips. We don't hear that the groomsmen are getting gifts. We're hearing that they show up, put a suit on, and stand
or
up there.
they figure something out the night before, like they're not going on this huge trip
Yeah.
or something like that. Like the fact that she went to DR, like
Mhm.
amazing.
Like,
Yeah.
Like my man's dad's really held it down. Like he's one of them people that when it comes to a trip, he gonna plan that joint.
Mhm.
My man's just send me an email say, yo, save this to your passbook or whatever. You know, the little Apple Wallet.
I love that.
Boom. I'm like, what is it? I said, oh, I guess this is where I'm going. This is the flight details. And he's like, yo, just show up to this airport.
You know what? Hell yeah.
I showed up and I'm like, oh, all right, bet. I pull up, everybody's there. And it's not even like just my groomsmen. It's the gang. Like I only had 6 people as in my groom's party.
I love that.
I can say that about your wedding in general. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
Sherelle was the same way. Like
Mhm.
my college roommate, she was like, yeah, I'm going on the bachelorette party with one of your brides. And she had an army out there in Cabo with her.
We was mobbed up out there. And I didn't realize everybody was out there. I'm like, oh, cousin Steve? He's not even my cousin. You know what I'm saying? Cousin Steve out there. I'm like, yo, everybody's really out here and showing me love. Like that joint, it puts you in a place to really realize who's in your circle.
It puts you on a high. Like,
yeah. That's what it was.
My bad, I didn't mean to cut you
off.
Go ahead. But like, it puts you like on a black men. We don't get told we love each other,
bro.
So like, just to see that love, you might not even be told you love in that moment or that process, but just how people show up for you, especially when you don't ask for much.
Yeah.
Like I'm the type of person I don't ask for much, so like my people like, no, we coming. Like, no, we gonna be there for you because you don't ask for nothing. You always showing up everybody else, but just to have people there and just show you love, like you feel on top of the world. As a man, I don't know how the women are. Of course, y'all probably do too, but from a man's perspective, where we rarely show emotion.
Bro, we don't get no flowers out here in this world where we fighting for our lives and all that other stuff. But when your boys see you and recognize you for who you really are, the speech I got when I was out there, bro, I ain't gonna lie. Second time I shed tears that year was just for the wedding. Like them boys really let me know how much they loved me. And I'm like, yo, like as a man, I don't gotta say pause nothing because like these are my people. These are my brothers. Like I love y'all to death. And they really came back and was like, yo, nah, we love you because of who you are and what you do and how you stand up for everybody around you. And I'm like, yo, y'all really see me like that? Like y'all see me for real. Like it's not just this is what we do because we on a trip. We just trying to be out here and just be wilding out. Nah. This was like some real good fellowship that we all needed. This is the first time that we really was able to link up since the last wedding and be like, yo, let's just catch up, mob out, drink together, eat together, and just be around each other and fellowship for real. So I think it's necessary when you are like, you know, you got those invites on there and people are showing up and showing you love and pouring back into you.
You got mad people who don't even tell you they ain't coming. They just,
and you paying for a plate.
My bad.
For another day.
So, I had to pay for this plate now. I'm sorry. My bad.
No, because the place was expensive.
Yeah.
Shout out to Moses of Richmond. You know what I'm saying? But he held it down. But yeah, my boys, man, they were a big part of what made me want to keep pushing and making sure that, you know, certain parts were included for this wedding. Like some of them flicks I look back now and I'm like, yo, y'all was really at my wedding. Y'all was really dancing with me at my wedding, bro. Y'all was really dancing at me for my bachelor trip. Y'all was really like reaching out, texting. Like our friend group, we really do try to make a point to show love to each other. But when you get to see it in person, when you get to feel it in person, it's different. It's different.
I love that so much. So as we get ready to wrap up, if you had to give one piece of advice to grooms who are getting married this year or getting ready to get engaged, what would you tell them from your experience?
Keep it hood with yourself. Keep it hood with your partner. Keep those conversations real because at the end of the day, this is your wedding. It's nobody else's wedding. It's not for the gram. It's not for the pictures. It's not for anything else. This is for y'all to celebrate one day of y'all becoming one. I would say, again, keep that budget in there too, because that budget can make or break the whole thing. Last thing you want to do is come back off of your high and then realize like, yo, we went way too far. have those conversations. Like, yo, how much are we really trying to spend? How necessary is this thing for real? Are these people really necessary? Do they really need to be here? Because that one plate of food, that one table, that one charger, that one candelabra is going to cost you money. Like, and it gets that serious. Like, it's play for real. But if you want it to be a bigger wedding, let's understand, if you got bigger wedding money, hey, by all means, you got it. But for most people who, I mean, life be lifing for everybody. But you don't want life to be lifing as soon as you celebrate life with your significant other. So
that's good.
I mean, just keep it honest with yourself. This is not an Instagram trying to be famous thing. Like, I don't care about the whole shebang. Like, you don't care about the whole shebang. You went viral, but that's not what you did.
Literally on accident.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like we're just trying to celebrate your woman as best as you possibly can. So that's me.
I would say study your woman. So when she comes with you for something, you ain't surprised. But you also study her so you can throw something out there so that you be like, I know she would want to do this. So you can put something in there for the wedding. I would say also, piggyback on what he said, throughout the process, you're going to learn that your family feels entitled, that they should be at your wedding. That title don't mean nothing. How we got around that, we had 3 separate guest lists. We had a guest list just for the wedding, because we knew people who just want to come for the wedding. We had a guest list just for reception, and that was mainly all Virginia State people that we knew wanted to party. And then we had a guest list for you can go to both.
Okay.
So that helped us with getting around that, like, because we wanted a younger crowd at the reception. So that most times the older people, they gonna come and eat and they out of there. You know, once that music changed from Teddy P to 21 Savage, they out of there.
I get that.
But I would say just voice your opinion too. You know, let her know that you were there, and find a mutual common ground, like you said. The budget. Talk about the budget. Like it is very imperative that you talk about what is our goal. What do we want our wedding to look like? Because at the end of the day, you got life outside of this wedding. Right. You got bills outside of this wedding, so just communicate effectively. Don't be closed-minded. Be open-minded. Don't listen to respond, but listen to understand where she's coming from, and vice versa for her as well. So that would be my advice to the men.
Thank you.
One little nugget though. So one thing that we did do, because we have family come from everywhere. If y'all have family, if you like, because I know a lot of people, they just transplants from wherever they come from. If you are having a weekend wedding or like it's a Sunday wedding, one thing that worked out clutch for us was the fact that we ended up renting out sections in the club at Saturday night. So it was like, it helped with how much time we had at the wedding. So what we did was we rented out like 3 sections at Park, and we basically just rented out the whole spot, got a couple bottles, and it was almost like a pre-party to the wedding. So everybody's kind of like, they got their party in, and then was able to experience the wedding, and then before they went home, because you know the wedding on a Sunday, everybody gotta go home or go to work. It's kind of like, all right, well,
Sunday too.
So we ended up having a club and it worked out perfectly for everybody. My man's Junebug just sent me some footage of us dancing, and that joint was a good time, man. It was a good time. So that's a little nugget.
Well, we want to thank you both for joining us here in the Planner Suite. Y'all gave y'all's insight. Y'all gave advice. And any groom who is getting ready to get married, maybe you are getting married. If you have any other advice that you want to give, or maybe you have a question for some of our AC grooms, please comment below, DM us, email us. And as always, meet us back here in the Planner Suite.
Bye.